Good evening, everybody, and thank you for joining me on another video. My name is Tom from 6 Foot Networks, and you are here with me at the Electrify America charging station at the Valencia, California Walmart. So it's a pretty decent sized station. I think there's eight chargers here, with the one next to me over here in the spot to my right being a 350 kilowatt, and I think the rest of them are 150. The spot I'm parked in is actually the Chatamo spot, so I've kind of figured that nobody would be using it, and it'd be a great time to record this video. I wanted to kind of post a follow-on update of the video that I shot yesterday with regards to the buyback of this vehicle. I really wanted to say thank you, first of all, to all the people who have commented, who shared their stories, and who've given me just a lot to think about. You know, when you are like me and you put, feelings to things that typically don't have feelings, it makes it that much harder. I remember in years past when I had cars that were destined for, donation or some kind of scrapyard, or I don't know, just flattening, I guess, in a vehicle press. Those were tough times. There's something to be said about a vehicle that's with you every day, that you spend a lot of time in, either for business or personal. It really doesn't matter. You get to feel how the car behaves, how you do what you need to do with it. It ultimately becomes like your partner in crime, essentially, without the crime part. But because of the fact that I spent a lot of time in this, I have pride for this vehicle. I have love for this car. I take care of it. It's like, having a pet that you love, or just a very good friend that you spend your days with. This could be, one of those things that maybe crosses the border of, loony bin type stuff. But for me, things that I work with daily and have a close connection to for personal or business reasons, they become important to me. This car is important to me. And I know I've made it clear in the past that, I love this car, but I love it like a friend. It's a friend that I know I can have a conversation in here. The car will listen, but ultimately, maybe in some ways he'll give me the answer that I'm looking for, just by, giving me silence and allowing me to think things through. So in some ways, this car is my therapist on wheels. Be that as it is, I wanted to kind of go into what I've received so far from GM. As you guys know, yesterday's video I talked about, my phone call and the notes that I took from the phone call. Well, I received an email today with my case number and everything, that effectively is just asking for more information. So I'm going to share this with you. Because there's a lot of information on this, I'm not going to show this, but I'm going to read it. So I'm going to read the parts that I can. So it says, "Dear Tom, thank you for taking the time to speak with me and allowing me the opportunity to work with you on this matter. I'm following up from our previous conversation to ask for additional information that will assist with the review and the progression of your case. Please provide the following information whenever you can. Number 1, sales documentation. Number 2, title or registration." I actually have my registration right here, and I'm going to just take a picture of it and send it. Number 3, picture of odometer. Just so you guys know, I'm going to flip the camera over so you can see it. This car has 17,067 miles on it, as you can see right there. Lots of good miles. All of them have been perfect. I've not had a single issue. And then number 4, copy of lien holder information, if it's applicable to your vehicle. which it is. We know this car is financed. So please reply to this email with your attachments within the next 5 days. Replying directly to this email ensures that your response and documentation are automatically added to your case. If you have any further questions or concerns, you may reply to this email, or you may contact me at the number below. And this is from, I assume this is the, the person that's starting the process, not the case manager, but the person that's kind of gathering all the documentation and doing discovery so that they can start the actual process for the buyback. One of the other things that I mentioned yesterday, which I wanted to get clarification on, so I did, was the whole dealership part of this process. There is, in fact, I don't know if it's an unspoken rule of sorts that makes buybacks difficult when you're trying to go through a dealership that you didn't purchase the car from. If you don't have history with a dealership, GM has a lot more paperwork to deal with to get that process to work out. It's not like the dealership really loses anything. The problem is that they just don't want to essentially work with anybody that they don't have a relationship with. They're trying to save their resources for people that have purchased vehicles from them in the past. Fortunately for me, I purchased this car in Valencia, California, so my local dealership is the dealership that I will be going through. But I did, like I mentioned, I think in the video yesterday, I did make the point to ask about if this dealership turns out to be a flake, what do I do, or what do we do? And this woman reassured me that, we just need to know what the dealership says. If they say yes, that they'll work with us, great. If they say no, then it allows GM to start the process of working with another dealership in the area, which there's a whole bunch around Los Angeles that potentially I could work with, and in some ways would be willing to travel to, assuming that everything works out. So it's not that it's impossible to get a buyback from a dealership that you didn't purchase your car from. I guess it's just a smaller nightmare to have to deal with, especially with the fact that this process already takes a long time, and adding weeks, if not months, to a process that's already lengthy and a little overdrawn is not my way of doing things. But we'll see what happens when the time comes. For now, GM has already filed the initial casework with the local dealership. I also got that confirmation. So they have a few weeks, I think, to get back to GM with their answer on whether they will work with us or not. And if they give us a no, then we move on to another dealership, and so on and so forth. For now, I hope that, for these guys' sake, I hope they work with me, because, well, I bought this car from them, and it would be really shady of them to all of a sudden tell me, no, we don't want to work with you, for whatever reason. It's not like they're losing money. I don't think they're losing money. I don't see how they would. They already got paid for this vehicle, and, GM is just trying to make arrangements to have a destination to ship a replacement car to, from what I understand. Go down in the comments below and correct me if I'm wrong. I know a lot of you guys have gone through this process already and have had similar experiences where, other dealerships had to get involved. So I really appreciate those posts. You guys are awesome. And I think that's about it. I didn't want to really cross over 10 minutes to take too much of your time away. So I'll keep up with this, and anything that comes from it, I'll be sure to let you guys know. As always, I appreciate you guys watching, and go down, leave me your thoughts, and until next time, thank you for watching. Have a great evening.